Kelas 11 Kurikulum Merdeka, kita masuk pada halaman 44, yaitu aktivitas kedua. Nah, sekarang kita membaca dongeng berjudul The Goose Girl. Ketika membaca, perhatikan pada bagian-bagiannya. Kamu bisa menggarisbawahi atau menandai beberapa kalimat yang mengacu pada bagian-bagian tersebut. Nah, sebelum kita memulai untuk menerjemahkan teks ini ya, dongeng ini kita dengarkan dulu. Untuk video kali ini kita dengarkan listeningnya ya, bagaimana pengucapannya. Selamat mendengarkan.
Once upon a time, there lived a lovely princess named Ani Dori Caladra Taliana Isali, or Ani, who was born in the kingdom of Kildenry. Ani had a strong relationship with her aunt. Little Ani spent the first years of her life listening to her aunt's stories and learned how to converse with animals. As Ani grew up, she gradually learned of three important gifts: people speaking, animal speaking, and nature speaking. When her aunt left from the kingdom, Ani's mother, the queen, forbade Ani from getting near animals, as she and the rest of Kildenry were terrified of animal speakers. Years passed by. Ani was struggling with her confidence as both crown princess and a future queen. Ani's life that was always under her mother's shadow made her feeling not confident to be the next queen. Things got worse when Ani's father passed away. At the funeral, the queen announced that her second child, Calib, would become the next ruler. Feeling confused, Ani tried to confront the queen. "Mother, I ask pardon for intruding so soon after the mourning period, but I must ask you about your statement some weeks ago," said Ani. Yes, my child, about Calib." "Sit down." The queen asked Ani to sit and continued explaining, "You remember. 5 years ago we received a visit from the Prime Minister of Bayern." Ani nodded. "Well, actually, according to our tradition, if it has to be one of my kids to marry the Prince of Bayern, it should be the third child, Naperlina. But she is too young, and you, my dear Ani, you are different. After the trouble with your aunt, I'm worried that people would never trust you, as the rumors of you being an animal speaker have sunk too deep," said the queen. Furious and upset, Ani had no other choice and was obliged to agree. Ani's lady-in-waiting and best friend, Celia, also convinced her to go to Bayern. Ani was crushed, but performed her duty and left Kildenry. However, another bad thing happened. On the way to Bayern, Ani began to feel alienated from Celia. Celia later took Ani's identity as the princess and seized Ani's power. After days wandering in the forest alone, Ani eventually stumbled on the house of Gilsa and her son, Finn. Gilsa told her, "Go to Bayern with Finn when the market opens. If you are fortunate, you will meet the king in person." Eventually, Ani and Finn went to the market to try to speak to the king. They met the king, but she ended up telling him that she was new to the city and had nowhere to go. Hence, the king assigned her as a goose girl. At first, as a goose girl, Ani struggled to connect with the other workers and the geese. However, this changed when she met Enna, who worked with chickens, and Jock, an injured goose that she nursed back to health. Over time, Ani built friendships with the workers, including with a man named Jarek, who told her that he was the prince's guard. One day, Ani heard a really bad news from Enna. Ani, Kildenry plans on attacking Bayern, so the king has decided to attack Kildenry first, told Enna. Ani realized in horror that this must be Celia's plan. If Bayern wiped out Kildenry, there would be no one who could prove her real identity, but she could not return to Kildenry. The next morning, a group of thieves attacked the geese flock. Ani used her gift. She asked the wind to help, and it responded by picking up a large amount of dirt and attacking the thieves. Because of her good deeds, Ani was hailed as a hero, but was horrified to know that the king would invite her for a reward. As she was afraid to meet Scylla in the kingdom, she decided to escape. She returned to Gilza's house and by chance met Talon, her old guard. "I am so happy to find you alive," said Ani, relieved. "I am also very happy to finally meet you again, princess. And I really want to help you get your identity back," replied Talon. Then, the two decided to convince the king of Ani's true identity. They rode to the kingdom and managed to meet the old prime minister. Soon after confirming her identity, she was informed that the prince and Celia were about to get married by the lake. Thus, Ani went to the lake to confront Celia. There she found out that the guard, Jarek, was actually the crown prince. A terrifying battle between Celia and Ani could not be avoided. Luckily, before Celia could kill Ani, Jarek intruded and helped Ani. Days later, after things quieted down, Ani was called to prove that Kildenry was not about to attack Bayern. She declared that she was the proof, as the queen would never send her firstborn into an enemy camp before storming out. Jarek praised her for ending the war before it started. At the end, Ani and Jarek decided to get married. Jarek took her to a celebration where she was introduced as the official crown princess.
Nah, itulah listeningnya. Untuk terjemahnya pada video berikutnya. Terima kasih, mudah-mudahan bermanfaat. Sampai jumpa.